Hey everyone, TheKosmicKollector here. Welcome to the first, episode of Game Pickups on this channel. I say first kind of because I did make a couple of episodes of this before, but that was ages ago and they've since been deleted. Unfortunately, I think I deleted them because I was embarrassed by them, but I kind of wish I kept them up there now. But regardless, here's the new episode. I've been kind of into collecting games a lot more recently, so I thought I'd make a pickups video. I was trying to think of a set time period and show you everything I got during that time period, but I just can't remember everything. So I thought I'd just sort of grab some of the things that I sort of acquired over the summer and show you, and then if I make another episode from after this one, then I can show you then what I've got since this video basically. So yeah, I'll just show you some of the stuff I got over the summer. A lot of it's really cool stuff. So yeah, let's go. So the first thing was that my girlfriend has actually been I think she was clearing out some bit in her house where they use for storage, and they found a bunch of old video games that they were gonna throw out actually, but she offered them to me first before she did that. And so yeah, let's take a look at what those things are. First thing is she gave me this huge ass stack of PlayStation 1 games, which is awesome. So let's have a look at what those games are. First of all, Micro Machines V3. Micro Machines games, of course, very beloved racing games on the PS1. If you don't know what Micro Machines is, play it in some form. It's on a bunch of consoles. Don't play the PS4 version. That one sucks. But yeah, it's a new one. No, this is a new one. But it's a game where you play as a tiny little Matchbox car and you drive around these locations that are since you're a tiny car, they look huge, but they're really just normal scale. So you could be driving on a kitchen top, or let's see what's here. There's a beach, there's a school desk, there's a garden, a science lab. So things like that. It makes the environment designs are really cool. The controls are really fun because it's kind of nippy and you feel like you're in a little Matchbox car and it's got kind of weight to it. So yeah, really fun. Great game, Micro Machines. Yeah. Definitely give it a recommend. What is that thing shining on that? Oh, it's this. It's the game. I was wondering what that thing reflecting off my TV was. It's the video game. Okay, so next up we have Tomb Raider 3. Yes, Tomb Raider 3: Adventures of Lara Croft. It's called. Lara Croft returns in her most daring adventure to date. Tomb Raider 3. Yeah, it's the third Tomb Raider game. You probably know what Tomb Raider is. I've got the first one, so we need to get the second one. And I think there's two other ones that they released in the PS1. But yeah, they're all great games. The controls are kind of funky nowadays, but they've all got nice sort of secrets to find and everything, and a really real nice sense of adventure. New graphic enhancements include multicolored lighting, rippling water, reflections, fog, and changing weather effects. Wowie! I'm sure they look stunning even to this day. Next up, Crash Team Racing. Get a look at that. This is, I swear, honestly, when my girlfriend gave me this stack of games, I couldn't believe it. And then now Crash Team Racing, about this one as well. This is an amazing game, if you haven't played it. It's kind of PlayStation's answer to Mario Kart, but with Crash Bandicoot characters. There's obviously there's the new version, the remake, Nitro Fueled, I think it's called, that's come out recently on PS4 and Switch and Xbox One and everything. But this is the original, and yeah, it's a really fun game. Play it, definitely buy it. You can play it with your friends, play it. I played this at a pub once actually and kicked everyone's ass at it. It was great. Yeah, it's Crash Nitro Kart. I don't know what else to say. There were some sequels I think for the PS2. Yeah, there was two other Crash Kart games, but this is everyone's favorite I think, because it's an excellent game. Really well made, really fun to play, really cool. Next up we have this one, Firestorm Thunderhawk 2. I actually don't know a whole lot about this one. I think it's it's a helicopter flight simulator game. I just really like the front cover on that. I love it when, if you look at Crash Team Racing again, it's got the big PlayStation logo and stuff. I love it when it's just a full art. I think you want to get it on these double disc ones. But yeah, here we go. If 26 missions, texture map, 3D terrains, polygon generated vehicles, multiple camera views, in-game speech, a fantastic intro, sequence, and a thumping techno soundtrack aren't enough for you, try admiring the stunning views from Firestorm's virtual cockpit as you bullet your way through global flashpoint situations that will pump your adrenaline to overload. Sounds like a pretty extreme experience. But yeah, I'm always a sucker for like early flight sim games or like air combat games, things like that. So this should be fun to have a little play of. I haven't actually given this one a play yet, but I will do soon. Next up's kind of sad. It's Resident Evil 3, but it's not actually in there. It's just an empty box with the manuals and everything, unfortunately. So no game, but it's still really cool to own the box, because if I ever do get a copy of the game with like a broken box or something, I always have a good condition box to put it in with all the manuals and everything. Yeah, I was really excited when I saw this in the pile there, but then my girlfriend was like, "No, it's not. It's not in the box." So that kind of sucks, but I took it anyway because yeah, it's cool to own, even still. Because I'm sure if I ever find like a disc copy, even if the box is a bit beat up, I can always make it look a bit better. It's just nice to have on the shelf, honestly. Next up, Evil Dead. Hail to the King. There you go. This is kind of Cadicrus did a great video on this one. It's a bit of a Resident Evil clone, but like you play as Ash from Evil Dead, which sounds really cool. But the gameplay is kind of weird and like it's not a particularly well made game, unfortunately. It's really cool to own though anyway, because I'm a big fan of Evil Dead the movies, and I like to own survival horror games. I like to play them regardless of how good they are. But there you go. Yeah, it's got everything in there. Got both discs. Yeah. The discs are just like one colour, which like really just strikes me with a lot of nostalgia for some reason. Whenever a disc is just like one colour in different shades on PS1. I think it just reminds me of this one I used to have. I can't remember which one. And then look at the manual there. It's so thick. It's back when they used to do manuals in like every language. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's just well full colour as well, which is always nice. But yeah, they just like for a little while they just copied the manual into like 5 different European languages, and it made it so thick. And then they kind of did like, I think they called it like Quick Start or something like that, where they had the game, they had the like very condensed version of the instructions in different languages, and then they just got rid of manuals altogether, so it wasn't a problem anymore. And then finally for the PS1 games, it's Mickey's Wild Adventure. Which is, yeah, it's quite a fun game. I actually started playing this with my girlfriend. It's a sort of side-scroller game. You play as Mickey Mouse and you kind of go through all these different environments and everything. There's actually no text here on the back. I was going to read through it to give me something to sort of talk about, but it is literally all screenshots, if you can see that there. So that's really fun. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's weird. When we played it, like there was no music for some reason, which was strange, but yeah, it's a good little time. It's difficult actually. It's not an easy game. Maybe it is an easy game and we both just suck, but I had a hard time with it definitely. So that's it for the PS1 games. Now there's something else my girlfriend gave me here, which I'll show you. She gave me this a bit later, and that is this beast of a boy over here, the N64. Yes. And it's also got all the cables and the controls and everything, but I just wanted to show you this because that's all put away now. Yeah, N64. I did actually own an N64. It's somewhere in there, but it's all like dusty and it doesn't really work right because I got it from like a copy sale, so it's nice to have one that's been sort of looked after a bit more. And if you look in here, if I can actually take it out, but yeah, there's an expansion pack in there, or whatever it's called. What is it called? How the hell do you take it out? I actually don't know. Maybe this isn't where the expansion pack goes. Is that what goes on there? That's the rumble pack that goes in the controller. I'm pretty sure it's the expansion pack, but it looks like it's kind of stuck in there, so I don't know. But yeah, the expansion pack is something that I think some games require it, and some games just sort of benefit from it. It gives the N64 a little bit more processing power to play with. What's in here? There's a little port or something. I don't know what that is. But what's an N64 without a game to play on it? And a game I did get, and that is, hell yeah, Banjo-Kazooie. This is the best girlfriend ever, right? Like, I mean, yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, it's great. I haven't actually played it on the N64 yet, but it's nice to be able to. But I've been playing it a while ago on the Rare Replay on the old Xbox One. But yeah, it's good to have the original version because it's got all like the sort of references to Microsoft removed and everything. It's the problem in Nintendo version. And Banjo-Kazooie is hotter than ever at the moment because obviously they were announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Actually, they're out now, I think. Yeah, you can get them now in Ultimate. But yeah, and Sakurai actually like promoted the Xbox, which was totally weird. Like he said, like go play it on the Xbox because it's cool and it's not on Nintendo anymore, which kind of sucks. But here's the original on the Nintendo, which is really fun. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, you probably know what it is. It's a 3D platformer made by Rare. They also made like GoldenEye and Conker's Bad Fur Day, things like that. A classic developer from this era. Everyone loves them. Yeah, really fun game, Banjo-Kazooie. Really nice, sort of cute, cartoony experience. Definitely recommend giving it a play if you haven't already. Banjo-Kazooie, in whatever way you can do it. Fuse emulators. But yeah. Not a bad little setup if I do say so myself, for free. Thank you very much, my girlfriend, you know who you are. Okay, so that's everything she got for me. Next up, here's some just sort of random odds and ends that I picked up from charity shops recently. I don't think this is everything that I picked up over the summer from a charity shop or that I bought new for myself. But this is just some of the stuff that I got. First up, Midnight Club Los Angeles. This was, I think, £2 or £1. This is the complete edition, which is really cool because I'm a big fan of open world racing games. I like to just sort of drive through and appreciate the world. You might have watched my Leisurely Drive series. Well, series. I only made one episode where I just drive through Burnout Paradise. I never could find a format for that was really interesting, but I would like to sort of get that one working again. But yeah, no, I just love to take a car and just drive it through this world that someone's made. And this is actually made by Rockstar. If you don't know what the Midnight Club series is, yeah, it's an open world racing game series made by Rockstar, developers of Grand Theft Auto, of course, and everything. And yeah, it's a really cool game, this one, because I think it came out, when did it come out? Around the same time, I think, as Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, 2009, this one. So yeah, it's got very similar graphics to GTA 4, actually. It runs on the same engine. It's interesting, because it kind of is like what Los Santos would have looked like, because it's obviously set in Los Angeles. It's what Los Santos would have looked like if Rockstar had made it during the GTA 4 era. So yeah, it's a fun game, Los Angeles. It's got a really big map. It's I don't know if it says it here, but yeah, no, it says basically the Los Angeles in this game is bigger than the areas in the first 3 games combined, I think. And this is even bigger actually. Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition makes LA even bigger by adding the iconic South Central area, plus new vehicles, aftermarket parts, blah blah blah. So yeah, if you get the complete edition, the map's even bigger. So yeah, it's a fun drive. It always is with an open world racing game, and obviously it's better than GTA. Well, not better than GTA, but it's good, better than racing for GTA because it's got real cars, like licensed cars and everything in there. So that's really cool. The next thing I bought, it's a really interesting one actually. It says MotorStorm for the PS3, but it's the Japanese edition, which was really fun. I've always been interested in like buying a Japanese PS3 game, owning a Japanese PS3 game, or any sort of import game really from Japan, because I just think they're really cool. The cool thing about this as well is that the PS3 is actually region free, so I can play this on my PS3 if I want to, and I don't own a copy of the first MotorStorm game. I haven't played it yet, so it's actually really cool to own, because it's a neat collection piece, and it's also something that I can actually play. I'd read the back, but obviously it's all in Japanese, and I don't read Japanese, unfortunately. And it says for Japan only there. I don't know if you can see that. Which, so I'm breaking the rules a little bit there. But yeah, this was cool though. And again, I think it was like £2 or £1 at this shop that I bought it from. And I just thought, yeah, it's a neat little thing. I probably would have bought it even if it was just MotorStorm, like the PAL version. But yeah, it being the Japanese version for some reason, I think just makes it a little bit cooler. I like owning import games. Okay, so that's it for charity shop stuff. Actually, no, it's not, but I'll get to some other stuff later. But this is something I bought. I actually pre-ordered this, which I don't ever do really. But this is the Collection of Mana for the Switch. Now, I pre-ordered this because, I mean, it's not like it's like a AAA game that they're gonna mess up. It's just 3 retro games, and they already came out digitally, and everyone said they were good anyway. So. But yeah, this is the Seiken Densetsu series, or the first 3 games in that series anyway. So it's got it's got Final Fantasy Adventure Mystic Quest, which is just called the Final Fantasy Adventure thing in America. It's really confusing, the Final Fantasy titles in the UK versus America and then versus Japan, because they've got something called Mystic Quest over there in America, but we call it like something completely different. I might edit in what it's called over here. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy Adventure Mystic Quest. That's the Game Boy Final Fantasy game. It's got that. It's got Secret of Mana, which is the classic SNES RPG. And it's got Trials of Mana, which is actually really cool because they hadn't... that game only existed in Japan for the longest time, but only recently they localized it, they translated it officially. And they called it Trials of Mana, and they've put it on here, and they've put it on the digital version as well. And I think they're actually doing a full 3D remake of that game as well, which I want to check out. I haven't actually played any of these yet, but I've just been really meaning to get into some JRPGs because I've not really delved too much into that series, into that genre. Sorry. So yeah, this will be maybe a good place to start. Who knows? I've got some other ones that I might start with instead, but we'll talk about that. Okay, so next up, yeah. For some reason, I've just been super interested in buying PS2 games again. Because the base PS2 was like really the first console I ever collected for, because they were so cheap at the time that I started collecting for them, and I just thought you can get so many of them and get such a massive collection in such a small. You get a massive collection in a small space of time, and that was sort of interesting to me. But then I kind of burnt out on it because I had so many PS2 games and I wasn't really playing them. But I kind of figured out that was because I recently figured out that was because where I could spend like £10-15 on like a really good game, like a well-known game that everyone likes, or a game that I like to play, I was sort of spending £1-2 each on these sort of crappy, 7 out of 10 mediocre action games or whatever that I could find really cheap, but I never really was interested in playing them. And so I recently thought, well, why don't I actually, instead of doing that, why don't I just sort of try and condense my PS2 collection down a little bit and just buy the games that I'm interested in, the games that I want to play. It might be a bit more expensive for the individual games, but I'll probably end up spending the same amount of money because I'm not buying as many of them. So yeah, and that got me really excited about PS2 collecting again, because I can sort of start thinking about the games I actually want to play. And if I just show you something as well, bear with me, I'll just pause this. Hello again. So yeah, what I've actually been doing recently is I've printed out like the American spines for a lot of my PS2 games, for a lot of my favourite ones. So there's I swear I picked up another one. Where did it go? Did I not? Oh yeah, no, I didn't. So yeah, these are some really good games actually. Shinobi, Resident Evil 4, Kingdom Hearts 2. But that's because, and I blame my fellow YouTuber Alpha Omega Sin for this one, because I still am a big fan of his. And it was his older game collection video that got me excited about game collecting and got me into it. And I remember seeing his PS2 collection, thinking it was so cool because all the games look really good games, and it had these nice little spines to them. And it just made it look a bit nicer. Because in the UK, we've got these, which is just some blank text on a white background. Which I'm showing that to you upside down. Sorry, the camera's reflected, so I don't know which way I'm showing it to you. But yeah, it's weird. Some people actually prefer this because it looks kind of cleaner, a bit more uniform. But me, I prefer this a lot more. And see, I've just kind of printed out like a sheet of the spines that I want and just printed them off, cut them out, and put them in here, and they look alright actually. I don't know if you can see there's a bit of a white bit there, but who cares? So yeah, that's been something I've been doing, and so I've been really excited about PS2 collecting. And I went out to my local charity shops, and I found some games for the PS2 that I didn't think I'd find, honestly, because usually you just find like the sports games or the kind of the crappier, more mainstream games that I'm not too into. But I actually found Disgaea 2, which is... you don't find JRPGs on the PS2 very often, especially in the UK for some reason. But I found this in a charity shop for £2, and it's in excellent condition. I actually haven't printed out a spine for this one yet. But yeah, and it's got the soundtrack CD in there and everything. If you haven't played Disgaea, it's kind of like a tactical RPG game. I haven't got the first one, so I don't know if I should play this one yet until I have the first one. I should definitely go buy the first one. This is the second one. But yeah, it's a really well-loved series from this era. I think there's some games on the PS3 as well. I can't wait to get this to play, but I'm going to actually find out if I should play the first one first or not. But yeah, and on the same day, I also bought Dynasty Warriors? Dynasty Warriors? Most people call it Dynasty Warriors, even though I think people in the UK say Dynasty, I'm not sure. But this is Dynasty Warriors 4. Which is, if you haven't heard of Dynasty Warriors, it's a really fun sort of hack and slash game set in like feudal China, I want to say, or feudal Japan, or something like that. So yeah, and you just go and you just kill these waves of hordes of enemies. It's a lot of fun. And 4 is I think the latest game that came out on the PS2. I think 5 was on the PS3. So yeah, they also had 2 there, which I probably should have picked up. But yeah, 4 is probably the best one on the PS2, so I got that one. And this was only £1, which is really cool. Again, it's in really nice condition, so yeah, so that's really nice. Yeah, I probably should have picked the second one up. The first one actually was on the PlayStation 1, and it was a fighting game. It wasn't anything like the later Dynasty Warriors games. Dynasty Warriors, I don't know. But yeah, they've expanded the series massively now. There's like Samurai Warriors, there's Hyrule Warriors, the Zelda one, which I really want to play. I think there's like is there a One Piece one, I want to say? Or there's something like that. And there's like Warriors Orochi, and there's so many. There's like so many games in this series now, dude. Honestly, it's expanded out so much. I couldn't even count them, honestly. So that's it for the charity shop PS2 games. But I also bought this one from Music Magpie. Hell yeah, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I've been trying to get all of the Tony Hawk games on the PS2 because I'm a big fan of that series. I love playing them. And this was one of my favorites. I own this one on the Xbox 360, but since I've been playing on my PS2 recently, I just picked this up because it was only $1.99 on Music Magpie. And it's really cool. I remember being so excited for this game when it came out. It's actually not in there because it's in my PS2 at the moment. Yeah, I just remember being extremely excited for this game when it came out, demanding it from my dad. I must have been like 5 years old, which is too young to play this game, by the way, because it's got some really like wacky storyline stuff. Yeah, the story is super fun as well. It's like you like move to LA and you have to like build this massive skate park. Yeah, it's really cheesy and it doesn't really make sense as a story, but you know it works with the gameplay and everything. So yeah, this is actually the first Tony Hawk game to be open world, and I say that with inverted commas because the open world was just like some levels strung together by like these little loading tunnels that you could skate through. So technically, you know, you never did see a loading screen when you skated between. I nearly said scoot then. Skated between the different levels and everything. And it was all like taking place in Los Angeles, so it made it feel coherent. So yeah, it's definitely a really good. It's one of my favorite in the series actually. People say this is kind of like where the series jumped the shark a little bit, but I really like this one. It's got a great soundtrack as well. Check it out. Check out the whole series if you haven't. It's so good. So we're nearly at the end now. The only thing left to show you is that yesterday I went to a car boot sale. Now if you're in America and you don't know what a car boot sale is, it's essentially a flea market. Where people come in their cars and they just sell all their old stuff for like next to nothing. So usually when you go there, everything's been picked clean through, usually because people get there really early. So if I don't ever really find anything super rare there, but you know, sometimes you find some good deals. Like this, I found Rhythm Paradise for the DS, called Rhythm Heaven in the States and in Japan. So for some reason it's called Rhythm Paradise here. But yeah, this is a fun little rhythm game. It's really quirky. It's got a really great art style. You sort of click and press buttons and stuff to the time. It's I can't really explain it. You have to sort of see gameplay for it yourself to really get it. But yeah, it's in this nice little. It's a weird slip of it. Like I don't know if it's supposed to like fold out like this, but like it's stuck on here. So I don't know if that's like meant to be like that. I don't know. It's like it's weird. Like folds out like this and then it opens. So I don't know. What's all this? What is this? Oh, it's like a little code for Club Nintendo, which isn't a thing anymore. That's fun. And we've got what? You got an advert for like all the different colours of the DS Lite and everything. Professor Kageyama's maths training. I've never heard of that one. But yeah, it's Rhythm Heaven, Rhythm Paradise. Good ass game. It was £1. Couldn't say no. Really, because I really wanted to play this. I played the Japanese only Game Boy Advance game, which is really hard to get through because if you don't know what the menus say, you have to just kind of press until you get to gameplay, which is kind of self-explanatory, the gameplay, so it's not too bad, but yeah. Oh yeah, there's also something in this Tony Hawk's American Wasteland that I forgot to show you. If you take the manual out, under that there's a sticker there for Granger Games, which is really funny because Granger Games does not exist anymore. I remember going to Granger Games when I was a kid and buying some PS2 games. They were kind of like a CEX kind of deal. I think it's pronounced sex, isn't it? But I ain't calling it that. But yeah, Granger Games. That was fun. I saw that, and it's also on the disc as well. Got my PS2 right here, literally. Come on. But yeah, check it out. It's on the disc there as well. The game still runs fine. I don't know if I should take it off or not, because it's kind of like a fun nostalgic thing. But yeah, that's fun. Okay, and then the last game of this episode, god, it's been 25 minutes already. Doesn't feel like it. Is Cooking Mama. It's another game I bought from the car boot sale. I love Cooking Mama. I used to have it on the DS. I don't know where that went, but yeah, they made it for the Wii, and it's a really cute little game. Basically, you have to cook these different dishes, and the way you do that is you just do these different little mini games that are different stages in the preparation of the dish. And the DS uses like the stylus to do different movements, and Cooking Mama does it with, I guess, the Wii remote. And so you're like flipping things and like using spatulas or whatever. Oh look, it looks like you can play 2 players actually as well, kind of like a competitive thing, maybe like kind of Mario Party-ish, I guess. Yeah, it's really cute. It's got a cute little art style. Everyone loves Cooking Mama. It's great. Okay, yeah, and that's it. That's some games that I got over the summer. Not all of them, I don't think. But yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff that I got. I hope you enjoyed this, because I love watching them whenever other people make them. So I hope you guys like this one. Maybe I'll keep making them, whether you like it or not. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and ta-ra.